Hello, assalamu alaikum guys, and welcome back to another video. It's Ibrahim Muslim, and today I'm back with another tutorial on Hackintosh. So this tutorial is for OS Mojave. I don't know how to pronounce that. It might be Mojave or something. So I will just call it 10.14. So we just welcome our new latest macOS X 10.14, and we will learn how to do it. So the first few things that I want to tell you is that the Mac OS X Mojave have no and NVIDIA support yet. So for those who are using just NVIDIA graphics card, I will prefer them not to upgrade. But if they want to just do it for fun and see what new features they are given, they can go for it like I'm doing it. And other good news with Mojave is that the Intel graphics card support has been increased. It works quite easily and quite better than Intel graphics support on High Serra. So I'm really happy about that, and I was able to get 4K out of my Intel, but that was not 60 fps, but it limited to 30 fps, and there was some acceleration problem that I might think will be improved in the updated version. So let's do what we have to do to make a bootable OS X Mojave USB. And as a bonus, I want to tell you that if you're using a perfectly working Hackintosh version of any Mac OS X version, you can just directly update to Mojave using that zip file that I uploaded in my Google Drive, and the link is in the description below. So that means you just don't need to make a USB bootable, because it's easy to update to Mojave from your current system. So that's another good news. But don't do it, just upgrade to another drive, not your basic drive. That's way too preferable. The second thing you have to do is you have to format a drive with GUID partition, and you have to format it with OS X extended or anything you want to extend it, because what matter is the partition type, the system partition type. The format doesn't matter, so it has to be GUID, and you have to name it OS X, because the terminal command I'm going to give you will use the OS X in it instead of any other name. So that will be really easy for you to make the bootable, and because you just have to copy the terminal command, you have to enter your password, and here it goes. So we have formatted our drive to OS X, and we'll close this. We'll bring our USB in a quite viewable area. And the second thing you have to do is you have to download your OS X Mojave from the Google link I provided. That Google link will kind of free you from downloading that package, which will enable the App Store to download the thingy beta version OS X's, and you are free from a lot of different stuff, or and you can say a lot of different hurdles. So all you need to do is download it from your link. After downloading, you have to extract that file, and you have to place that file in your application folder, the OS X 10.14. After doing that, you have to open your anything on which you can copy the command, and I have done it here. So I will copy it, Mojave, and I will copy this thingy from here. After copying it, I will open my terminal. So let's copy the command into the terminal and see that if it works. So hopefully it will work fine after the copying. So it said if you want to continue, you have to erase the volume, and we know we have to erase the volume, and we will continue by pressing capital Y. So after pressing capital Y, our USB will go invisible. So after the USB gone invisible, you can go into the disk utility, and you can see if stuffs are being done at the end. And here you will see Apple UDIF read only. And if you want to check if that your USB is made properly, or you can say the bootable installer is made properly, you can go here, and here in disk written size, notice the size before you start the command and after the command. There should be an increase of at least 5 GB, and if you get that 5 GB increase, 5.3 or 5.4 GB increase, that means your installer is fine, and you are good to proceed. So we'll wait for the time this thingy takes to write on the system, and until that time I will pause the video. So our installation is complete and we are with our install macOS X 10.14 beta. So what you have to do after making this USB, then you have to do the most important part. You have to install Clever bootloader on it so this USB can work for your Hackintosh. So right now I'm going to use this 4522 thingy. Let me check the latest one. So this one is the latest one, 4522 4522, whatever you want to say, and this is required to boot 10.14. Anything below this won't boot your 10.14. So you have to go to continue, change install location, go down, find your installer, click continue, customize, and you have UEFI. So that's why you select UEFI dot only and then target.esp. And in here under driver 64 section, assume these first 8 would be selected already, and then you have to go down. And if you are using 1080 or 1000 series of NVIDIA graphics card, you can use OSX OptioFix 3 DRV, and if you are anything below that, you have to use OSP Fix 2.64. So these are very essential and these are required to boot into the OS X 10.13, 14, and anything else. So these are the 3 for 1000 series and 2 for everything below 1000 series. Then you have to install the NV Express DXE if you're using an NVMe, and then you have to use this emu variable.uefi64. This is very important if you want your graphics card to work with full acceleration including NVIDIA, and it is mostly recommended after you have completed your NVIDIA CUDA driver and NVIDIA WebDriver installation. So I won't use this before installing those drivers, so I will skip this, but I will use these two because I'm having 1080 right now. So both of these work, they don't do any conflictions. And after doing that, just click install and press enter. So once you have pressed enter, your EFI would be mounted. This is the EFI of your OS X USB installer, not your system. So for those who still got problems with this basic install version in which the basic stuff is placed, then for them I had made this one. This EFI is for those who are using any of the Z270 chipset, and it also worked for 250 as well. So if any of you are using Z200 series of chipset, then I will prefer you to use the EFI I provided. I will also provide an EFI for 170 and 8 and 9 generations, but because I don't have those systems now, that those EFI won't be guaranteed, but this one is 100% guaranteed and it will work for you just fine, or you can say just great. So after doing this EFI have 4 pre-builds which are for Haswell, SkyLake, and PLST. So for those who are on previous generations like 8 9 generation and 100 generation and 200 generation, you can use the config depending on your requirements. And as well as the apfs.efi file is concerned, I've already placed the latest apfs file in it, so you won't need to do anything else for this. And if you go to the kek section, I've already placed drivers for 10.14 13, so you won't need any drivers as well. So you are good to go. Just place this EFI into this EFI partition, replace the stuff, and you are good to restart. So as I told you before, you can go with the basic installer and you can go with the USB. So if you want to install from this will be really faster, and you can say kind of more reliable than USB, because USB sometimes do some stuff. And if you don't have anything and you want to boot with the USB, you can go with the USB, but you can go with this installer as well. For just the sake of reference, I will go with the USB one. So I will restart the system to show you how to get through the BIOS. And one more real important thing that I will tell you in a bit is that I have a config.plst edited, so you can use this config.plst. And here, I'll open it with Clover. Let's open with this Clover. Okay, I've added some basic boot flags, and I hope these are very helpful. You can also use this one, disable FX firmware and SK off. I also added patches in here, graphics patches, and many other stuff you can use. So it's a complete EFI, and I hope this will work you out. So let's restart the system and see the stuff through the BIOS, and I will tell you some BIOS settings as well. So I'm in BIOS, and now I will tell you the settings you have to do in BIOS. So the basic settings are same. You have to disable the fast boot. You have to select other OS in Windows 8 or 10 features, and you have to use UEFI instead of legacy. And if we go to profiles here, you have to, sorry for not using tripod, mine just broke up. So you have to use the basic settings here in SATA. That's SATA controller, SATA mode selection, and aggressive. And anything different than this won't boot your OS X. Here you have to use XHCI hands off, legacy USB support enabled, USB and everything else enabled. And then we go to leave the Thunderbolt aside, all board SATA control, nothing in here. And here, if you are using Intel, you have to enable Intel, and there will be two more options in the Intel thingy which you have to use. So let me show you that as well. So for that, I have to restart my system to show you the other two Intel options. And those two Intel options are really important if you want to boot with Intel HD. Anything different than that might cause your error. There are different combinations you can use, but the combination I'm going to tell you might be quite more stable than others because I have gone through a lot to debug that. So let's see what we get. So I restarted my system, and now we'll go here in chipset, and now you can see there are two more options available: DVMT pre-allocated and DVMT total graphics memory. So this is very important to select 128 MB 128 MB on both of the options, DVMT pre-allocated and DVMT total graphics memory, because it is essential, and there are some backend things that go behind the operating system for the graphics allocation. And if you want to boot into 10.14, you have to use this. After that, you say press and save and exit, and then you press F12 or F10 depending on your system to select the boot drive. So let me select my boot drive. So I have a lot of hard drives connected, and the one we installed, the UE5, was the SanDisk drive and UE5 here. And we press, and let's zoom out. So it might take a time because the Clover is quite big now. It's like it's gonna take a lot of time now. And kaboom, we are booted into the Clover. And now from here we have to boot into Mac OS install Mac OS 10.14. And I have already added the flags, which you can check in here. Options -V and VDA // return, and press enter. For those who are using Haswell or Broadwell, they have to change their SM BIOS definition, and you can do that by selecting the different config to boot, or you can use that SkyLake or Haswell or Broadwell config, and you can just rename it as the config.plst, and by that it will become the default config your global will choose to boot. So you can see it's taking a little time because it's from USB, and if it wasn't, then it would have been done by now because I'm using an NVMe SSD, so it's like real fast on that. I hope my mobile battery doesn't die before this thing's get complete. And in this video I have done a lot of talking, which I should not, but sorry for that if it hurts. Come on. Oh, let me zoom in so you can see the things going on in the back end. So these are very important if you want to debug your error while your system crashes in booting up. Right now you can see different stuff going on, and here you can see it mounted mounted the drives, and it's connecting and scanning different stuff, frame free blocks and stuff. And here is the fastest net. I've placed the box upside down because it get hot otherwise. So this is 1 gigabyte of internet. Alright, leave that aside. We are about to get out of time, and for God's sake, be quick. So this is the real time it might take for your system to boot it, and ta-da. So told ya, it's not that hard. Told ya. Okay, now we'll show the Apple logo and we are done. So and now from here we will install our Mac OS X Standard 14. So for you guys, I have to delete my OS X again, or shall I not? You have to name this file Mojave or something, and you can see operating system is already installed. And if I erase it, I have to reinstall it. So sorry guys. I know it's working, so you should be confident enough that if you are here, that means you are almost done. And if you can't boot till here, then that means you're gonna have a lot of different problems. So what should I do? Okay, let me install it for you. I go back here and I go here and I erased it with all the sadness. I erase this stuff just for you lads. Okay, cancel. Install macOS Mojave. Oh my god. Continue. Agree. I agree. Mojave, my friend. Oh, show the icon, man. Alright, so 5 minutes to install OS X Mojave, and I don't know why these lines are appearing. They might be due to the frequency difference of my camera and my LCD. So let's get back to the screen after we are done with installation. I hope I don't have to show you this as well. So we are done with our second part of installation as well. So now from boot macOS install Huawei, we have changed to boot macOS from Mojave. Let's press enter and let's see where it leads. So it's gonna take little time at the first stop, and you can see it's loading drivers and TFS and stuff. And we are in our Mojave. Oh, just give the display now. Mojave. And ta-da. So let's focus. Let's go to Pakistan. And let's continue. Continue. Where is that skip thingy? Oh yeah, here it gets set up later. Skip. Let's skip this thing. Okay, I say continue. Agree. I will enter my special password. Oops, let me repeat. So whoa. One time. And we are done. So let's continue. You can see little graphics glitches. That's probably due to the NVIDIA graphics card working without any graphics driver. It was not happening in the previous OS X installation versions, but this one is unique. So we are here with a unique look of OS X. So this is for the first time you can use the black appearance of everything, including docs and folders, finders and menus, and everything which you can relate. Anything that is made up by April gonna get black this time. And we get a black start of Mojave, and it's night, and it should not be night because it's day here. And you can see my Wi-Fi is working just great. If I go here, I go to the options, and you can see it gives me just blackness. It just gives me the blackness. Okay, if I go to system report, it's gonna be in black as well. iMac 18.3, 16 gigs of memory. If we go to graphics, we get display and Intel HD, but no CAX loaded because I haven't booted with Intel HD. I have an NVMe installed. USB drivers are working perfectly fine, including USB 3.1. Those drivers came with these drivers are of high Sierra. Nothing new for this. Networks, my Ethernet working. No, with this one is working, not the other one. That's strange. The Intel ones are working, but not the killer one. So go back, and just an intro to Safari. Something new with Safari, and I don't know, there are quite different things out now, so probably you can see internet is working fine. So let's do a speed test just for fun. Because of the trash drivers, the speed test might look crazily trash, but let's do it. Let's see what internet performance this thing brings. So it's kinda same, 1 millisecond ping and something close to 780, 790. All right, so it was almost 0.8 gigs. So that means everything is working, almost 900 Mbps. Oh, go for it, hit the GB, boy. So it's never gonna show me a GB. From the day I have got this internet, it never shows me a GB. So leave that aside. We are done with our Mac OS X Mojave, or whatever you wanna say. It's up to you, and it's done. And thanks for watching. Hope you liked it. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any question, query, please feel free to ask in the comment section below. And please like the video. That's by that I know how well I'm doing. And help me on Patreon. That's the most important part of the video. Help me on Patreon so I can buy new hardware, new software, and it helps me do the work. So until the very next video, please take care. Allah Hafiz.